Hi everyone, today we're going to use a Cricut Maker to engrave and cut shrink plastic to make custom pet name tags and keychains. For this project, you'll need the engraver tool attachment for your machine. For this demo, I'm going to make some heart-shaped pet name tags. So here I'm on Design Space and I already have one made, and this is how I made it. First, get a heart shape, either from the free shapes here or you can find some in their database. To make the loop, take a circle shape, duplicate it, make this circle smaller and center it onto the first circle. Make sure they are aligned and centered using the alignment tool up here. Then select both circles and hit slice. Then delete the two sliced circles and you're left with a ring. Put that ring on top of the heart. Adjust the size to your liking, make sure it's centered, then select both the heart and the ring and hit weld. Make it to your desired size. I'm going to make this 2 inches, which will shrink down to about a little less than 1 inch. Perfect size for cats and small dogs. For medium to large dogs, around 3.5 inches would be good. Now for the text for the engraving, I'm going to type the name and the phone number. Make sure if you have more than one line of text, you will need to weld them together so they become one layer or one piece. Now if you just typed and select engrave, the machine will only cut the outline of the letters, which is fine if that's what you want. But if you want the letters to be filled completely, we need to fill them with a hatch fill pattern. I downloaded this hatch fill pattern from a YouTuber, Corinne Blackstone. I used her video as well as another video by Clever Someday to help with this project. I will link both videos in the description box for your reference. Once you downloaded the hatch fill pattern, upload it into Design Space. So this is what it looks like zoomed in. It's just a bunch of lines. To make this pattern look nice on your text, rotate it to about 30 degrees. Now we're going to slice the text onto the hatch pattern. You would have to adjust the size of the text and determine how detailed you want the fill to be. The bigger the text, the more detailed the fill pattern will be, and the longer it will take to engrave. Since I'm using shrink plastic and whatever I engrave will shrink down, it doesn't need to be super detailed, so I'll make my text on the smaller side. To slice, you will have a better result if you enlarge both the pattern and the text. Select both and enlarge to about 10 times its original size by just moving the decimal points over to the right, making sure the measurements are locked. Once you do this, they will go out of frame, but that's okay, as long as you have both layers still selected. Then hit slice. This may take some time depending on how complex your design is. You should end up with 4 sliced results. You can delete the hatch pattern and the 2 similar ones here that have a lighter shade, so you're left with this one. Select the text and change to engrave. Size it down to fit your tag and position it to your liking. Then select both and press attach. For material selection, choose acetate and increase pressure to more. In clamp B, load the engraver tool. Next, load the shrink plastic to the cutting mat. Make sure the plastic is well secured. To ensure it won't move around during the engraving, secure with some painter's tape. Load the mat and press start. The engraving will take quite a while to finish. Depending on the complexity of your design, it can take anywhere from, say, 5 minutes to even hours. Yes, I said hours, so keep that in mind when choosing a design to engrave. This tag, for one tag, it took about 15 minutes to engrave and cut. So the machine will not cut through the plastic completely unless you repeat the cut again. But since we have the engraving function, we can't do that. It would repeat the engraving process as well. But it's okay, it cut enough where you can still remove it as long as you're careful. Cut a slit first and start removing it. Again, be very careful and gentle. You can use a soft cloth or a soft brush to remove the shavings. So unlike laser engraved acrylics, the engraving on the shrink plastic will be raised. And you can actually color it using different mediums. I find Sharpie and alcohol markers work great for this. The ink flows nicely into the engraving. Try your best to stay within the engraving, but if you mess up, you can always clean it up with isopropyl alcohol and Q-tip. You can also use Posca paint markers. However, unlike the alcohol markers, the ink doesn't flow into the engraving as smoothly. And the engraved texture is really rough on the felt tip and causes snagging, so it may ruin it, so try to be gentle. Cleanup is easy, just use a toothpick and scratch off the paint. I also did the engraving backwards to see how the colored engraving will look from the other side. And with Posca marker, after baking, I personally think it looks cleaner this way. Now all you have to do is color and shrink the plastic with your preferred method. I used Posca marker, soft pastels, and alcohol ink. Then I sealed mine with a sealer spray and domed with resin and glitter. And here are all the ones I made. I had so much fun making these. Engraving on shrink plastic opens up so many fun possibilities. I hope you guys try it out. Let me know what you would make with engraving tool on the Cricut Maker. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!